Hi guys, back on the canal again today. Good to see you all. I hope you're enjoying this video series. So today we are on session number 5. We're almost halfway through the 9 areas of emotional well-being and what it takes for us to be able to get our emotional needs met and to feel well, emotionally balanced and happy with our lives. I don't know if you can see the colours today, but it's just gorgeous. The colours on the trees all around us, absolutely stunning today along the canal. This is a stretch from Mirfield back over towards Huddersfield, and you know, the trees are letting go of the leaves. It's that time of year when the leaves have come to the end of their productive lifestyle, or productive phase of their life I should say, and the trees are letting go. The leaves fall to the ground, they become fertilizer, and they further provide nutrition for the leaves in a different way. But it's interesting. I wonder what things you could let go of. I wonder what things you've been hanging on to for too long. I wonder what habits of behavior, what habits of communication, what habits of interaction with others that perhaps no longer serve you, and you may be able to let go of and find much more productive ways of doing things. So far in the series we've talked about the emotional needs that are really important for us in order to feel emotionally well balanced when we have those needs met. We spoke about security and the need for security. We spoke about autonomy, our ability to make choices for ourselves. Hello guys.
Hello.
Enjoying your walk?
Yes, you.
Good, yes, enjoy it. We talked about the need for attention, to be able to give attention and to receive attention, because it's very nutritious for us. And we spoke about the need for intimacy. Can we be accepted, you know, unconditionally, warts and all, for who we are by at least one other person, and have a trusty relationship with them that feeds our soul and feeds our emotional well-being. And in learning how to qualify as a clinical hypnotherapist, I studied the work of Milton Erickson. Milton Erickson was an American psychologist and psychotherapist, and he was the first president of the American Society of Clinical Hypnosis and Medical Hypnosis. And in learning to deal with depressed clients, there was a fascinating story of his. And basically the story talks about him being called out by a client to go and see an aunt who had become depressed and reclusive. So when Milton Erickson went to visit her, he found her home to be beautifully decorated. She was a very fortunate lady in her middle age. She had a housekeeper, she had a gardener, and she had people to look after her as she was independently financially supported, shall we say. She had her own independent income. But she was reclusive, she was depressed, she'd had a number of fallouts with the family and had found herself becoming very reclusive, retreating from her community, retreating from her society. And today's subject we're going to be talking about is that of community. And this is the power of community and the nutritious power we get from being part of a wider organisation than our own family unit. We have many types of communities we may be members of. We may be members of tribes, we may be members of, you know, football clubs, football teams, we may be members of gyms, sports teams, we might be members of social groups that we're, you know, fond of and we interact with regularly. And what Milton found out was that this lady had retreated from her social group. She was a member of the church. When he visited her home, there was a Bible lying open on the table, and all around in the potting shed there were African violets. And this lady was very, very adept at nurturing these very, very delicate plants that take a lot of care and a lot of attention to nurture. And so in understanding her personal values, in understanding her connection to the church and that of serving the community, he asked her if she was prepared to follow through on his instructions as a doctor to help her become well, and she agreed she would. So Milton said, I want you to send your housekeeper and your gardener out to buy 200 potting plant pots, and I want you to propagate 200 African violets. And these are going to take an awful lot of time for her to do. He said, when a member of your community has a new child, a baby is born, I'd like you to give them an African violet. When a member of your community is engaged, I want you to send them an African violet. When a member of the community is married, I want you to send them an African violet. whenever there is a celebration within the community, I'd like you to send them an African violet. She agreed to follow through on his instructions, and he left. This lady was in her middle age, and when she died in her late 70s, Milton Erickson found out about this, and the newspaper article read, "The amazing African violet lady of Milwaukee has passed away." He only saw her once, and she lived very happily from the moment that he interacted with her in therapy for the rest of her life, following her passion, aligned with her values, supporting her community, giving attention and receiving attention, feeling a sense of security and happiness in her community, able to make her own decisions and her own choices, and also being able to feel and give attention at a much deeper level. So you can see how all of these emotional needs are intricately interlinked. And that's just one story of one therapist, a very, very successful therapist, working with one client to affect beneficial therapeutic change. I hope you're enjoying the videos, guys. Keep the comments coming. Absolutely loving them. Paul Parkinson, I promise I will post the bloopers. But guys, I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are. Please do share them. If anybody needs them, share them. If it puts a smile on their face, that's great news. It's a lovely Saturday. It's raining. The leaves are all falling around us. So my challenge to you, what habit are you going to change? What are you doing that no longer serves you? How can you add to your community? How can you give more attention? How can you receive more attention? How can you be happier and emotionally well balanced? Take care, guys. Lovely talking to you. See you soon.